In the ever-changing landscape of the United States, the reality is that not all states are created equal when it comes to economic stability, social cohesion, and long-term sustainability. While some states are booming with growth and innovation, others are slowly but surely heading toward collapse. If you're looking to safeguard your future, it might be time to consider moving before it's too late. Today, we're going to talk about the first 5 states that are at risk of collapse, and why it might be wise to get out now. 1. California, the Golden State's decline. California has long been one of the most prosperous states in the US, but the cracks in its foundation are becoming increasingly apparent. The state has been grappling with a series of issues that are driving it toward a point of no return. The state's soaring cost of living is a huge factor. Housing prices in major cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles have skyrocketed, making it impossible for the average person to afford a home. This has led to a growing wealth disparity, where the rich are getting richer, and the middle and working classes are being squeezed out. In addition, California's business climate has become increasingly hostile. Excessive regulation, high taxes, and an unfriendly attitude towards small businesses have caused many companies to leave the state. The tech giants and entertainment moguls may still call it home, but ordinary people are being priced out, and small businesses are folding left and right. On top of that, the state is facing a massive budget deficit, with unsustainable pension liabilities and a crumbling infrastructure. Wildfires, droughts, and earthquakes are constant threats that have only worsened with climate change. When you add the growing crime rates in certain urban areas and the increasing homelessness crisis, it's clear that California is heading toward a tipping point. 2. Illinois, a state drowning in debt. Illinois is another state that's on the brink of collapse. The state's financial situation is nothing short of dire, with an unfathomable amount of debt hanging over it. Illinois has one of the worst credit ratings in the country, and it's facing a budget shortfall that continues to grow year after year. The state's pension crisis is a huge factor contributing to this financial instability. With pension liabilities amounting to over $130 billion, Illinois is struggling to pay its retirees, and the burden on taxpayers is becoming unbearable. Despite efforts to reform the system, the state is still deep in the red, and there's little hope of turning things around anytime soon. To make matters worse, Illinois has been losing population at an alarming rate. Many residents are fleeing to neighboring states like Indiana, Wisconsin, and Missouri in search of better opportunities and lower taxes. This exodus has only made the state's financial situation worse, as a shrinking tax base means fewer people contributing to state coffers. With its high taxes, crumbling infrastructure, and declining quality of life, Illinois is a state that's quickly becoming uninhabitable for many of its residents. If you're still living in Illinois, now might be the time to pack up and move before things get even worse. 3. New York, the Empire State's economic struggles. New York, once the epitome of American prosperity, is now struggling under the weight of economic challenges. While New York City continues to be a global financial hub, the rest of the state is facing economic decline, with rural areas hit hardest by job losses, population decreases, and high taxes. New York State has one of the highest tax burdens in the country, and that burden is only growing. With a combination of high income taxes, property taxes, and business taxes, it's becoming increasingly difficult for both individuals and companies to thrive. This has led to a mass exodus, particularly of high earners and businesses, who are fleeing to states with more favorable tax climates, like Florida and Texas. Upstate New York is particularly struggling. Once known for its manufacturing prowess, the region has seen a dramatic decline in factory jobs, leaving many communities impoverished. The state's economy has shifted toward a more service-based model, but not all areas have been able to transition effectively. Crime rates in certain urban areas, combined with the ever-growing cost of living, have also made New York a less desirable place to live. If the current trends continue, it's likely that New York will see further economic decline, making it a state you may want to consider leaving before things get worse. 4. Nevada, the mirage of prosperity. At first glance, Nevada may seem like a state on the rise, with its booming tourism industry and influx of new residents. However, beneath the surface, Nevada is facing a number of challenges that could lead to its downfall. The state's economy is heavily reliant on the gaming and tourism industries, both of which are vulnerable to economic downturns and changing consumer preferences. In recent years, Las Vegas, the state's biggest city, has seen a decline in tourism, with fewer visitors coming to gamble and attend shows. While the city is trying to diversify its economy, the heavy dependence on one industry is a major risk factor. Nevada also has one of the highest unemployment rates in the nation, particularly in rural areas. The state's education system is underfunded, leaving students unprepared for the modern workforce. Additionally, Nevada faces a looming water crisis, as the state's growing population puts increasing pressure on its already limited water resources. While the state may be seeing population growth in certain areas, the underlying issues with its economy, job market, and resources make it a risky place to invest your future. 5. Alaska, the last frontier's economic decline. Alaska, often thought of as an untouchable, rugged paradise, is now facing a financial and economic crisis that is forcing many to reconsider their future in the state. Alaska's economy is heavily reliant on oil, and with fluctuating oil prices and a growing push toward renewable energy, the state's once booming industry is in danger of collapsing. The decline in oil revenues has led to severe budget cuts, and Alaska's state government is facing a massive deficit. The state's population is also on the decline. Younger people are leaving Alaska in search of better job opportunities and more affordable living, leaving behind an aging population that struggles to fill essential roles. With limited job prospects outside of the oil industry, many Alaskans are being forced to leave or face an uncertain future. While Alaska has stunning natural beauty, the state's economic instability, lack of diversification, and remote location make it increasingly difficult for residents to thrive. For those considering a move, it may be better to leave sooner rather than later. Conclusion. The states listed here are facing significant challenges that could lead to their eventual collapse, at least in terms of their economic and social stability. From California's soaring costs and business exodus to Illinois' crippling debt and New York's high taxes, these states are already in the midst of difficult transitions. If you're living in any of these states, it might be time to seriously consider making a move to a more stable location before things get worse. Ultimately, your future is in your hands, and choosing to live in a state that is headed for collapse could put that future at risk. Keep an eye on the signs, and don't be afraid to make a change if you see the writing on the wall.